So Elizabeth Warren has been trying to kind of distinguish herself from other candidates in the Democratic primary. And she, to her credit, largely it's been based on policy, how she's trying to, I'm different from everybody else. So one of the things she did was the wealth tax that we spoke about. 2% wealth tax on all wealth above, I think, $50 million, which would raise a tremendous amount of money. And by the way, even a majority of Republicans support that idea. There's something about when you mention the lower percentage, like, it's 2%, but if it's of all wealth over 50 million, not income, wealth. For some reason, when you frame it from the wealth perspective and it's a lower percentage, people are like, I support that. Even Republicans support it. So that was a great idea. Then she came out with this universal child care idea, another great idea if you ask me. So she is kind of hitting heavy on the policy. However, the problems with the reservations I have about Elizabeth Warren, but you can make a joke out of that, so I'm not going to say it. The problems I have with Elizabeth Warren are when she speaks in detail about these ideas like Medicare for All. We covered the story, how she's not a fighter. Now, I love Elizabeth Warren because she got us the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and she fought for that, so she has fight in her. But on so many of the important issues, she's not going to fight on those issues. Now, that's not me speaking, that's her speaking. She said in the interview with Cenk Uygur of TYT, when it comes to Medicare for All, we're all working towards the same thing in the Democratic Party. You have some people who want Medicare at 55, some people who want Medicare at 60, some people who want public option. And she basically made it seem like all these are on the same plane. Like, we're all getting to the same place. But no, you're not. All the Democrats who are for Medicare 55, so on and so forth, they're gaslighting everybody because they're saying, I don't want Medicare for All. In order to get Medicare for All, you need a politician who believes in it and who is going to fight for it and take on Republicans, corporate Democrats, and the entire health insurance industry. If you're doing the rah-rah kumbaya talking points, you're not going to get there because you're going to think everybody's working with you when in reality they're working against you. So that's why I was like, come on, Liz, what are you doing? Now, she does this new policy thing, again, trying to take herself and say, I'm above the rest of the Democratic primary crowd. She says, okay, I'm going a step further on money in politics. I'm not going to go to any fundraisers, not going to have any phone calls with wealthy donors at all. So no corporate PAC money, no big money bundling fundraisers, which, by the way, is awesome. And Bernie doesn't do big money bundlers, but other candidates who've said, I'm not taking corporate PAC money, are still doing big money bundlers like Kirsten Gillibrand. By the way, people have been coming after me for giving nicknames. Bro, I'm having fun. Lay off me. All right? I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it. Even if none of you enjoy it, I fucking enjoy it. I'm having fun over here. People go, people aren't going to take you as seriously. I've been doing fart noises on a regular basis on this show for 5 years. Kyle Out of Context has existed for a long time. I've always been kind of like a political commentator and edgy and I'm not trying to be fucking Anderson Cooper. You know, it was just weird to me that I was reading these comments like, stop doing the nicknames. Why? I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. Anyway, I digress. So she says, no more big money bundling fundraisers. Great. No more phone calls with wealthy donors. Great. No corporate PACs. Wonderful. But then she goes on TYT to talk about this, and she says this.
Does this only apply in the primaries, or will you carry this over to the general election or any other election you'll have going forward?
So this is for primaries. Look, I do not believe in unilateral disarmament. We need to win. We need to win in 2020. And when we hit 2020, and we're in a race against Donald Trump, when we're in a race for control of the Senate and control of the House and in control of the state houses and the governor's mansions, in all of those, the Republicans are going to be bringing a lot of money, a lot of power, a lot of dark money, a lot of super PACs, all to the fight. We play by the same rules. And in that one, I say we got to be all in because we have to beat the Republicans.
Basically the worst possible answer you could give. Listen, when you say in the primary, no more corporate PAC money, no more big money fundraisers, no more phone calls with wealthy donors. When you say that in the primary, what you're doing is you're buying into the logic of that's corrupting. That's what that is. That's corrupting. And that's why I'm going to stop it, because it corrupts what I'm for and what we're fighting for and our policy goals. So if you're buying into that logic for the primary, you don't get to abandon that logic in the general. and say, well, now I don't want to do unilateral disarmament. Okay, but then what you're saying is the corruption's okay in the general, but it just wasn't okay in the primary. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And what people are still struggling to understand is this. If you say no fundraisers, no big money bundling fundraisers, no phone calls with wealthy donors, no corporate PAC money, I'm only going to raise in small dollar donations. If you take that stance and you scream it through a megaphone through your entire campaign, it's not a guarantee you're going to make up the difference with small dollar donors, but you'll be in the ballpark of the money you would have raised from big donors with just small dollar donations. Why? Because people hear that message and they go, oh, so they're not corrupt and they are going to fight for me, so now it's time for me to step up and give $5, $10, $30, whatever it may be. So it's not a guarantee you're going to eclipse the amount of money you would have made or match the amount of money you made if you're taking money from big donors. But that your message is much more potent and it resonates much more, and you'll be in the ballpark of the amount of money you would have raised. And then if you keep repeating that, that's such a popular position that people will want to vote for you more. But what you do is you just undermine your entire philosophy here and your entire argument you were making about the primary. Oh, it's corrupting, that's why I'm not going to take it. In the general, though, I'm going to take it. Come on. You got to be better than that. It was like she's shoving her foot in her mouth. Like she had this... If she just didn't say anything about this, she wouldn't have gotten a round of negative press. But now she said this, and now it's a round of negative press from all the left-wing outlets, and rightfully so. So she stumbles quite a bit, man. And by the way, reports are out recently that Bet on My Stork wants to run. And if he runs, I guarantee you he's going to flame out so quickly. He's going to shove his foot in his mouth way more than even Elizabeth Warren is doing here. So I look forward to that. But anyway, all you had to do was say, I'm sticking by that in the general too. And then you would have even had an argument that you can try to make above and beyond Bernie. You could have made an argument of above and beyond. Well, actually, Bernie doesn't do big money bundling fundraisers, but, I don't know. She could have taken an angle like, well, Bernie's taking PAC money. I don't take any PAC money. But, of course, the PACs Bernie takes from are union PACs, which there are not too many negative effects from that because it just makes you more pro-worker. But it's still a PAC. So she could have found an angle where it's like, no, I'm leftier than Bernie. But she didn't do that. In fact, she made it worse because she said, I'm going to stop the corruption in the primary, but in the general, let's do the corruption all day long. Oh, what is she thinking? Oh my God, Republicans exist, therefore let's violate all of our principles argument, that doesn't work. It doesn't work, and it's also dumb, so you fucked up.